What is up, guys? We are here at our new garage. I am so sorry I didn't film a single thing about moving. When we moved, we packed everything up, loaded it in a truck, brought it all here and unloaded it. It was like mid-90s, probably over 100 with humidity. It was disgusting, and like the last thing I thought about was filming. But we just banged it all out in one day. Josh came and helped out, and we just got it all moved here. But as you can see, here, I'll go all the way to the front. As you can see, we have a ton of space now. You know, ignore all the bins and stuff because that's gonna be put away. But we have enough room I can park my car. Ted can park his car, and we'll have enough room where we can even have another car or two in here depending on what's going on. But it's kind of like that two parked cars over there is kind of the big deal. Ted's not gonna be joining me on weekdays as much now because they're a little bit farther away from his work, but I can't be more excited that we actually have a space that we can do stuff in the winter, which we haven't had in a long time. I even came and dropped off the Z this morning to pick up my car and drove it to work because I only work like 10 minutes from here, which was really cool. The car performed excellent. Even on the 50-minute drive from our old garage to here, back roads, never went over like 196 degrees. Car felt great. So today, my goal is to wire in that new air temp sensor and take care of a few other little things. But I'm probably not gonna be here too long today, but this weekend, we'll probably do a lot here, hopefully. I'm super stoked. Finally get, organize everything. We got cabinets. We have a big loft area up here to hang out. I got all my tires tucked back there. This is awesome. It's like a dream space to have so much room. But yeah, side note, it's been about a year since I started making these videos, so I'd really be interested to know in that year what you guys have thought about the videos to date. Let me know if there's anything that you think that would make my videos better, make them, or if you have any just overall feedback would be really cool. I really appreciate everyone who's been watching the videos for the last year. People have commented and just said some really nice things and gave me some really good advice about what I'm doing, what Ted's doing. And I really appreciate it. I'm sure he does too. But yeah, I'm gonna jump into what I'm doing today. Finding that air temp pigtail, I kind of got lost in the move. But I decided to do a few other things just because I wanted to. I ended up skinning out the whole hood in the middle here because I saw I was hitting the throttle cable. I was like, why not just do the whole thing? I might end up putting a vent actually right here anyway. I might end up cutting up to there a bit more, I don't know. We'll see. I also decided, I never actually checked the timing with the Haltech. It had a trigger angle set already. So I decided to set it to 10 degrees locked. Yeah. That couldn't be more spot on. It was at 515 degrees and I made it 516 because it looked like it was off by a hair. But I honestly looks like I just went the other side of the line. So if anything, it's like 515 and a half, which I don't even know if you, I might be able to. Let's put in 515 and a half. I know this really doesn't make that big of a difference when it gets this close. But now let's see where we're at. Oh yeah, right on the money. There we go. But one of the things I've been wanting to do for a while actually was take a look at that air temp sensor. So it has this calibration model that's set for the JZ one, which I'm not sure. I wonder if this is set for the Haltech one. I'll have to double check, because that's what I'm not sure. It came with an air temperature sensor, which I stuck in the pipe pre-throttle body. I just need to find the pigtail for it so I can wire it into the old MAF harness, which I brought over here. So this is the old harness that used to go to the MAF, and in it, 2 of these pins are air temp sensor power ground. It's going to the computer, so yeah. So I just gotta figure out what the range is for the one that comes with it. See if I can find that pigtail. If not, I might call it a night. I ended up kind of unpacking a few things So yeah, it's pretty hot out today too. At least there's a nice breeze through this shop. It's at a very nice place. Look at this, it's like a gorgeous barn. What's going on, guys? So it's been a little while since we've actually been in this new space, but neither me or Ted has had a really good chance of being able to get here and actually organize stuff. I've only been here a few times actually since we moved. We've both been super busy. I ordered some stuff on Amazon. I was hoping to order the correct connector for that air temp sensor, but unfortunately it wasn't the right connector. I was hoping that all the Delphi connectors were similar, but no luck there. So in the time being, while I'm still looking for the pigtail that came with the sensor before I go buy another one, what I did was I just took some pins like I had for the switch panel connector, and I heat shrunk them onto individual wires, and I pressed them into the container, and I've made like a strain relief on it so they won't pop out, and that should be fine for now. Another thing I did was I grabbed a MAC valve and a couple of little fittings. So I'm gonna install that. Basically, everything I'm trying to do now is to get the car dialed enough and ready for a tune, because there's a few things I just have to get set before I can actually get this car tuned. And you know, they're really small and they're easy, like the boost controller. So I'm gonna get to that stuff. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna get done tonight, but we'll see. So for the air temp sensor, I wired it to the pink and brown wire on this connector from Wiring Specialties, which just happened to be the air temp sensor that was built into the MAF. It was on this harness, that pink and brown, those two that are in the second from the left and the third from the left, those are for the air temp signal. So I cut this harness that went across the bay, and now I only need this little stubby harness because this joiner was right next to this pipe anyway. So I'm gonna stick this in and then we can get started on the boost controller. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed that this was low. I actually just topped this off, but what I didn't notice was this nice puddle on the ground of ATF, because this little joiner I put in this power steering drain was like really loose and it was just seeping out of here. So I topped it off and we'll see if any more comes out. It's still kind of damp from before, but let me just make sure this is extra dry. We'll see if any more leaks out. But it wasn't there when I parked the car, so it's just must be like a slow kind of dripping leak. Yeah, that's annoying. But I got this back on. It's kind of tucked out of the way, and I have this connector here zip tied up, and it's still really clean. You can't really see what's going on. And then I'm probably gonna mount the boost controller hopefully right there. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that'd be a really cool spot for it, or up here or something. But gotta use some of those lines that are right here. Figure out which one's which. So I ran a new silicone tube. This one goes up to the wastegate and this one goes here. And I'm just kind of eyeballing where I want this to go. And because I'm using these two ports here, I think I'm just gonna end up zip tying it through these two holes and mount it like that. So then both the hoses will point down. So I'm just gonna stick like a Delphi connector on these two, and then make like a little harness that's gonna run into the car. It's long enough to go through the grommet over there, and then I can mount this up. So I just made these nice little harnesses with weather connectors, and I used some of the sheathing from the Wiring Specialties MAF harness I didn't need. It's only 2 wires, but I figured keep it safe because this is really important that the boost control solenoid works. So I'm gonna mount that up and figure out how much of that sheathing I actually need, and I'll put some Teflon tape on the fittings, and I'll stick it in there, and I'll show you guys what I did. I really couldn't be happier with how this came out. I put some like toolbox liner behind this just to isolate it from this, and it also allowed it to get tighter with a zip tie. And just like the wiring's really clean. These little silicone lines are nice. And then I even like zip tied this harness here. Sometimes I just really take a lot of time to do something small like this, and it just makes the world of difference. I'm so stoked. It's something so small, but it just like makes me feel so good that I put the time and effort into making it real nice. So now I just have to finish up this little wiring. It's probably gonna go through this grommet here, and then I will start looking at what I have to do at the ECU. The goal for today is to finish up the boost controller and set that up with wiring and with the Haltech software, because I have my laptop today. And I also might try and clean up some of the garage, but I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm gonna jump to it. So one of the great things about this Haltech software is once you enable a feature like boost control, it'll ask you to like create a connection, and then it gives you the available wires. So I'm gonna go look at the harness and see which one of these makes the most sense to use, but I clearly have plenty of options. So I chose to use this purple, this blue and violet wire. So I have a little lead going into the back of that pin, and then I just check, where'd it go? And now I'm just checking the back side for which one of these has continuity. And it ends up being this fourth one in here. So all I have to do is tap into that wire. So now I'm gonna go look at the harness. That will be on the first one. Fourth pin in. And we do have something there. Huh. Hopefully this isn't used. Let's see. I'll look at the wiring specialties diagram. Make sure that's not used for anything. So I just checked the wiring specialties diagram, and it turns out that purple wire is actually for the AC relay and the factory ECU. And obviously we don't need that. And if we ever do run AC with the Haltech, I can put it wherever I want anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I actually lucked out because I can just tap into that purple wire, and the wire coming out of the thing's actually purple, so it ends up being really cool. So all I have to do is tap the purple wire that I made from the boost controller into that purple wire, and then the gray wire I have to tap to a 12-volt switch signal, which I'll just have where the same power that turns on the ECU. So I can do that real quick. So now that I have the boost duty cycle table open, I can just type a number in here, and you can hear the solenoid clicking away. There we go. So it's working. There we go. Also, the air temp sensor works. It's been just sitting out, so you can see that everything's at 74, 75 degrees right now. So we got everything working. That's it for electronics. Stoked. So sorry this video has been like all over the place. I feel like I've been saying that a lot recently, but ever since we moved in here, we've been really struggling to like get here, just because Ted and I have been so freaking busy. So hopefully in the next video, I'll get a lot more work done. In the meantime, I really want to clean up the garage a bit, and like hopefully Ted and I can get here this weekend, and you know, because he hasn't been here since we moved in. But yeah, I guess I could also give you guys a quick tour around the garage, you know, like, so here's the door, and like as you can see in this bay alone, we can fit one extra car, even like almost two if we had the door open. That's assuming my car's parked there and Ted's car's parked over there. So with our two cars parked there, we have room that we can actually work on our other cars, which is fantastic. And over in the back over here, since the support's holding up this loft, there's actually a lot of space behind our cars. So I'm thinking about maybe getting some equipment or something, or even more storage over there. And then I'll take you guys up to the loft. And then we got this cool little chill spot up here. We got all that extra storage back there. We got a chair, and then a nice window to let some air in. I got all my stuff stored back there. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I'm like overwhelmed with how much space we have here. I don't know where to put anything. It's really odd. I had any like clear path of things to do. I've just been like tackling all the rest of things that I've wanted to do on this car that I haven't got to yet. Like I trimmed out the hood, I got the boost controller set up. In the next video, I'm actually probably gonna make a custom core support for this, because this is the flimsiest thing known to mankind, and I do not trust this latch for anything. Probably gonna grab a set of hood pins and yeah, make a cool something a little stronger, maybe removable, obviously, so that make pulling the engine a little bit easier. But yeah, I'll tackle that in the next one. So yeah, if you like this video, guys, please hit the like button. If you want to keep following along with my build, Ted's build, anything we do, we're going to be doing a lot more now that we're in this garage. If you're as excited as I am about it, drop it down below. I'm super stoked. So yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Bye.